We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Interest rates, banking crises, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. The FDIC early Monday took control of troubled First Republic Bank and accepted JP Morgan Chase's bid to buy it. Several financial institutions, including PNC Financial Services Group, put in bids before a Sunday deadline in an auction held by the FDIC, the independent agency that ensures bank customer deposits. The sale came after First Republic shares plummeted from $122.50 on March 1st to about $3 per share at the close of trading on Friday. First Republic's assets took a beating as interest rates rose and its financial situation worsened as customers withdrew deposits after two other mid-sized lenders collapsed last month. The FDIC announced the deal hours before markets opened. The U.S. government organized a second convoy in as many days to transport U.S. citizens to Port Sudan to escape the conflict in Sudan, where rival military factions are fighting for control in the capital, Khartoum. We are assisting U.S. citizens and others who are eligible with onward travel to Jeddah, where additional personnel are ready to assist with consular and emergency services, State Department spokesman Matthew Miller said Sunday in a statement posted on Twitter. The violence, which broke out in early April between the Army and Rapid Support Forces paramilitaries, has killed hundreds of people, including 2 Americans. The Federal Reserve is expected to raise interest rates again at a policy meeting this week, continuing its most aggressive campaign to increase borrowing costs in 40 years, the Wall Street Journal reported on Monday. When the Fed's 2-day meeting ends Wednesday, investors and economists will be looking for clues and comments by the central bank's leaders on whether the tightening cycle is nearing a close as the rate hikes help bring down high inflation and nudge the economy closer to a recession. We are much closer to the end of the tightening journey than the beginning, Cleveland Fed President Loretta Mester said on April 20th. Charlie Munger, the 99-year-old vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, said in an interview with the Financial Times that with property prices falling, American banks are full of bad loans. The warning came as bank failures have shaken confidence in the financial system and a potential commercial property crash looms. It's not nearly as bad as it was in 2008, Munger said, but trouble happens to banking just like trouble happens everywhere else. In the good times, you get into bad habits. When bad times come, they lose too much. The United States accused China on Saturday of harassing and intimidating Philippine ships in the South China Sea and urged the nation to cease these actions as tensions flared between the two countries. The U.S. State Department said in a statement that China should desist from its provocative and unsafe conduct, calling China's recent undertakings a stark reminder of Chinese harassment and intimidation of Philippine vessels as they undertake routine patrols within their exclusive economic zone. The U.S. accusations come after the Philippines accused China itself of aggressive tactics in dealing with its ships. The pushback comes just days before President Biden is slated to meet in Washington with Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. As the Biden campaign and White House attempt to reassure voters that Biden is capable of doing his job, Biden is not making it easy on them. The 80-year-old commander-in-chief needed a cheat sheet in his most recent press conference and had difficulty remembering his recent state visit to Ireland Thursday while being grilled by kids during a Take Your Child to Work event at the White House. The last country I've traveled. I'm trying to think of the last one I was in, Biden mused to the children of administration staffers and members of the media. I've met with 89 heads of state so far, so trying to think where was the last place I was. It's hard to keep track. A child shouted out Ireland, jogging the president's memory. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com/podcasts, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.